everyone. So today I want to talk about releasing negative emotion, and I want to give you a quick 5-step process for how to do that. Okay, so this is an introduction to releasing negative emotion, and we've already talked at this point, I'm sure, many times about why that matters. But just the quick recap on that is that emotion is the thing that drives our entire life. Emotion is what drives our behavior, and it's what drives our results. So when we end up getting stuck in negative or painful emotions, we end up taking actions that influence the way our life turns out, right? And so those actions might be shutting down, lashing out, avoiding things, buffering with alcohol or YouTube, procrastinating, all kinds of things that end up in our behavior line of our models. And then those actions end up creating the results that we get in our lives or don't get. And so when we get stuck in negative emotion, we get stuck in negative action patterns and then in negative results. And so being able to process through a negative emotion and release it is so important, because that's what gives us the space to then create new ones. So when we can learn to release our anger, our resentment, our frustration, our self-doubt, our confusion, any of the things that we're getting stuck in, then we're able to replace it with positive emotion, right? Motivation, commitment, determination, love, belonging, connection. All that stuff becomes so much more available to us because we have all this emotional space now, okay? And so when we're feeling love, we take loving actions, right? We show up, we connect, rather than avoiding or buffering. And we can lean into hard things because we know how to go through this process. And so we don't have to be afraid of anything. So that's really powerful, and that creates phenomenal results for us in our lives. And so today I'm going to give you a quick 5-step process, or the 5 components that go into being able to release a negative emotion. And I'm going to run you through a quick introduction to that process. And then at the end of all of this video, you can download or print out the PDF guide that I have for you, so that you can use this as a reference. Either pull up the video or use the worksheet, and you can try and take yourself through it on your own and kind of begin practicing this process, okay? And I will just say too that this is a practice that you will use for the rest of your life. It's not linear. Sometimes we go through step 1, 2, 3, and then a new emotion comes up and we have to kind of go back to the beginning and then allow that one to be there. And so just know that we kind of jump around in this sometimes, and that's okay. And also know that you're not meant to have mastered this at the end. It's an introduction, and it will take you some time in practice. And I'm happy to work with you on that one-on-one, have some private sessions with you, and teach you how to do this, okay? I'm 6 or 7 years into this now, and I still sit down with my coaches and have them walk me through this process when an emotion's really powerful, when it's really strong, okay? So just know that. Give yourself some grace through this process, and know that I'm here for you if you really want some support in working through this in a deeper way, and in learning this in a way that you can really embody it and practice it, and internalize it so that it becomes easier for you to do, especially when you're really triggered. There are 5 components that go into this process, really. The first step is recognition, and recognizing that you're triggered, that you're having a powerful emotion, recognizing those cues in your body, those red flags, the bells and whistles that are like, ooh, there's something happening in my stomach, there's something happening in my throat, it's tight, I feel the tension, whatever it might be, recognizing that it's happening, that something important is coming up for you. The second part is acceptance, or allowing the emotion to be there, allowing it to move through your body instead of fighting it or resisting it or pushing it away or reacting to it, right? Sometimes we think that we feel an emotion, we feel the effect of it in our body, and then we react. We lash out, we shut down, we break up, we quit the job, whatever it is that we do. And that's not really the same thing as responding from a place of wisdom and having processed the emotion. That's reacting to. And that's not the same thing. And so allowing it and accepting that emotion to be there and being with it is really important, in an open way that brings it into your heart, that allows it to belong. And once you've been able to do that, really listening to the emotion in your body, feeling it all the way through, and accepting it and being with it, then the next step is investigation and really understanding that emotion, understanding where it's coming from, What's creating it for you? Why are you feeling that emotion? The fifth step is once you understand, okay, this is what I'm feeling, this is how it feels in my body, breathing into it. And once you've done that investigation process and you're beginning to understand this is where it's coming from, the fourth part is nurturing it. Nurturing that wound, finding where it's coming from, and understanding what you need in order to be okay. What's the deficit here? What's the lie that I'm believing? What's the thing that's causing this pain? And then we go in and we address that wound, okay? And we nurture that. The fifth part is changing it. Once we really have allowed the emotion to be there, we've listened to it, right? Instead of fighting it, resisting to it, or reacting to it, then we can, okay, I see where this is coming from. And then we can actually go in and change the root cause of that emotion. And then we can create new emotion, right? Once we've allowed it to come up, processed it, it will begin to dissipate. And as it dissipates and we really understand what happened there, then we can go and we can change it and we can create something new in its place. So that's the overall process. Those are the 5 steps that are included in releasing a negative emotion and moving on with your life in a new way. So I'm going to allow you to take some time to move through this with me, okay? And again, recognizing that this is happening is the first part, getting somewhere quiet, and then naming the emotion that you're feeling, right? So find a quiet place, get still, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and get grounded. Feel the seat beneath you, the space that you're in, listening to whatever sights and sounds coming into your body. And as you're there, name the emotion. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling disappointed. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling afraid. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Right? Whatever it might be. And as you sit there, allow that emotion to vibrate through your body. Notice where you feel it. I'm feeling really sad. This is sadness. This is grief. This is jealousy, whatever it is. Where do you feel it in your body? And then once you've identified where you're feeling it, I want you to describe it. Describe how it feels. Stay with it, right? This is that allowing, that acceptance of just allowing it to be there, noticing it, and just be with it. Describe it. I feel a sinking feeling in my stomach. I feel a tightness in my chest. I feel a clenching in my throat. Heaviness all over my body. How does it feel? Describe those physical sensations. And once you've identified really where you're feeling it, where is the most intense, I would invite you to spend a few minutes just focusing your attention there. As you breathe, focus your attention on that sinking feeling in your stomach, that pressure in your chest. You can put your hands on it, on your chest if you want to, or on your stomach, wherever it is. If it's that catch in your throat, just focus all your attention there and just notice it. Just be with it and just breathe. Does it get more intense? Does it move somewhere? Does it grow? Put your attention there and just breathe and notice it and watch it. Does it begin to dissipate? As you spend time with that feeling and actually feeling that feeling and just being with it, again, not resisting it, not trying to make it go away, just allowing it to be there. Say again out loud, this is anger. This is grief. This is what disappointment feels like. This is shame. This is what shame feels like. And really pay attention to how it feels. And then I want you to out loud say to yourself, I'm feeling this because. I'm feeling shame because I did this thing. I'm feeling shame because. I'm feeling angry because. And I would even encourage you to get a journal and write down in a journal, do a brain dump. What are all the reasons you're feeling this emotion? I'm feeling disappointed because I let myself down. I'm feeling disappointed because I let someone else down. Because it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Right? Put down all the thoughts, as many as you can. I'm feeling afraid because I feel like no one's ever going to love me. Feeling angry because they disrespected me. When you're done with that, I want you to now ask yourself this final question. What do I need in order to be okay? What do I need to hear, feel, see, or believe in order to allow this feeling to move along? What do I need in order to be okay? Do I need to hear someone say I'm sorry? Do I need them to know it was an accident? I need them to try harder? What do I need? I need to feel loved, wanted, accepted, validated, forgiven. Maybe you want to be seen differently, understood. Answer that question for yourself. What do I need in this moment, in this emotion? What do I need in order to be okay? And then I want you to give that gift to yourself. Give that gift to yourself. Can you say to yourself, I'm sorry. I'm sorry this happened. Can you say to yourself, you didn't deserve to be treated that way? Can you say to yourself, I love you. I love you. I know you're needing to be loved, and I'm here for you. I love you. I care about you. What does it feel like to give yourself compassion, acceptance, forgiveness? Can you see yourself differently? Really find the space in your heart to nurture that wound, to really give that to yourself. And only once you've really felt the truth of that, the authenticity of truly giving yourself that gift, you might even ask, can I give it to this other person? Can I give them compassion? Can I give them forgiveness? Can I see them differently? And it's okay if that's too much for you right now. If it is, stay with yourself. How can I give this to myself? And that's the step of nurturing. The last thing I'll walk you through is how to change the belief, right? And so we're going to talk about this more in that 6-part series about how do we find the root cause of the pain, right? And it's always that thought, what am I believing, right? That she never cared about me, that I'll never get it right. I'm feeling afraid because I'm always going to be alone. Right? I'm feeling disappointed because I fucked it up again. I use colorful language, sparingly, maybe. Right? And so when we can find the thought that's causing the pain, we so often think it's about other people, but really there's a belief inside us. There's something we're believing that this means. I'm feeling shame because I think this means something about me, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not lovable, that I'm not worthy, that I'm not capable. And so when we can go in and find the belief that's causing the pain, then we can change it. And we can begin to believe something different about ourselves, right? That I'm learning to be a better listener, that I'm learning to show up on time, that I'm learning how to forgive myself, that I am lovable, that I am worthy. When we focus on all these things that we think we're not, we miss all the evidence out there in the world for what we truly are, for all the places that we have already everything that we need. And we begin to build new belief. As that old emotion passes, then I'll begin to teach you how to build up and create new emotion inside you. Emotion like love, curiosity, acceptance, motivation, confidence, belonging, connection. All of those things we can actually create for ourselves, within ourselves. And I'm going to teach you how to do that, okay? So feel free to shoot me an email if you want help going through this, if you want some support with how to go through this process, and I will teach you one-on-one, and we can spend 30 minutes sitting down and really walking through this in a little bit more time, in a little bit more detail. But for now, that's a brief introduction to the 5 different components that we really need to master being with in order to release that negative emotion. And then I'll teach you all the components that go into creating the new ones to replace that emotional space with. Okay, my loves, I love you very much, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.